Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Locrine and we get to hear from Humber again today in Act 4, Scene 3. Now, if you remember, Humber thought he was doing real well, but then he sort of lost a battle and he saw his son dead on the battlefield and was very distraught, as one is when you see your son dead on a battlefield. But then after seeing the Ghost of Albenact kind of go, "Mwahahaha," Humber was all full of, vim and vigor to go get his revenge on Locrine and his crew for having killed Humber. So he went off, but basically he's been wandering around starving to death ever since then. His wife thinks that he's dead. She's now supposed to marry Locrine, even though she doesn't want to because she thinks that Locrine killed Humber. But most people think that he's dead and gone at this point, and he's getting there. He's starving. At the top of this scene, we got to hear him give a monologue about how his body is like on fire because he needs food so badly, but he can't find anything. There's no animals to hunt. There's no fruit. There's no grains. There's no roots. There's no vegetables. There's no nothing that he can find to give him any sustenance. And after he said all of that, Strumbo came in and gave a very comedic monologue about how he's such a great lover that his wife doesn't want to beat him up anymore, and she bought some plot of land that now makes Strumbo one of the richest men around. And at the end of his monologue, he sits down. He's like, well, I guess it's breakfast time. What sort of meat do I have for breakfast? At which point the focus goes back to Humber. The two of them are on stage at the same time now since Strumbo entered, but they haven't really interacted with or seen each other yet. So Humber begins this monologue unaware of Strumbo, but becomes aware of Strumbo in like the last 3 lines. So anyway, Humber, as the focus shifts back to Humber, he says, "Was ever land so fruitless as this land? Was ever grove so graceless as this grove? Was ever soil so barren as this soil? Oh no! The land where hungry fames dwelt may no wise equalize this cursed land. No, even the climate of the torrid zone brings forth more fruit than this accursed grove. Ne'er came sweet Ceres, ne'er came Venus here. Triptolemus, the god of husbandmen, ne'er sowed his seed in this foul wilderness. The hunger-bitten dogs of Acheron, chased from the 9-fold Puriphlegeton, have set their footsteps in this damned ground. The iron-hearted furies, armed with snakes, scattered huge hydras over all the plains, which have consumed the grass, the herbs, the trees, which have drunk up the flowering springs. Thou great command of the starry sky that guides the life of every mortal wight from the enclosures of the fleeting clouds, rain down some food, or else I faint and die. Pour down some drink, or else I faint and die. O Jupiter, hast thou sent Mercury in clownish shape to minister some food? Some meat? Some meat! Some meat! So this is part 2 of the monologue that we already heard on Monday. It's more of the same. At least the beginning of it is more of the same. He's saying that this ground has been cursed, that there are other places with worse climates that still produce more food than where he is now. He's like, nothing good has ever come to this place, therefore nothing good is coming out of this place. It has been cursed, so no trees grow here, and no herbs grow here, no grass grows here, nothing. And towards the end, he sort of pleads with the gods, please, please, please give me some food or some water, or I'm going to lie down and die right here. At which point he notices Strumbo. Now, Strumbo had heard Humber talking maybe about the time that he starts talking to the gods, and he's like, I better get out of here. He starts packing things up like he's going to hide himself. But in those last 3 lines, Humber sees Strumbo and goes over to him. He's like, are you Mercury? I need some food. Have you been sent to help me? Give me some meat, give me some meat, give me some meat. And he's very intense and very scary at this point. And Strumbo's like, oh, no, I'm not Mercury. I'm Strumbo, and I'm just heading out. And Humber's like, I will kill you dead right here unless you give me something to eat. And Strumbo's like, I will happily give you something to eat rather than be killed dead right here. And he goes, this is a little stage direction part, he goes like he's going to give Humber some food, but then the ghost of Albenact appears and smacks Strumbo's hands so the food falls out, and it freaks out Strumbo. He drops everything and runs away, and Humber goes running after him to try to get some food, and the ghost of Albenact is like, See what happens when you are actually cursed and when you mess with somebody? Even when you find food, you don't get it. And that's the end of Act 4, Scene 3. So we've got a ghost still continuing to seek revenge on Humber as he slowly starves to death in the wilderness. So we'll see where things are going to go from there. Like, I thought this act was supposed to be a love story. We got to get back to that at some point. Anyway, come on back tomorrow for more. Mwah.